We are live. This is the Market Update Bombshell Edition. I'm your host, Bill Noble. If you need a roadmap in crypto, subscribe to this channel. I am back on the air. Turn on alerts so you know when we're going live. And if the content works for you, hit the like button, leave a comment. I'm checking comments and replying regularly. We want to know what you want to hear about on the new free market update. Free as in free to say what we have to say or need to say or want to say. Hello, Bull Runner, first on the stream. Welcome. Richard from Georgia. Hello. Jeff is here. Carlos from Mexico. Hi. Mr. Moby Dick, recognizing you. Carlos, thank you. I appreciate that. Richard says, congratulations on 1,000 subscribers. Thank you for bringing it up so I could bring it up. Crypto Funds is here building. The sports hobbyist. Everyone in the house. Now, I know that there's a lot of other events going on. I know it's the holidays. But what we want to do is give you all the news you can, because there's the news about SBF. There's the news about the stock market tanking. There's news about how you can use all this to develop your 2023 outlook. So yes, not only are we going to do news, not only are we going to tell you what's going on, right, but we're going to do it in the context of what you should do next, not investment advice. Okay, Levi is here. JP Stanley, hello, right? Okay, Detroit is in the building. Welcome. Welcome to the show. I appreciate all my friends who show up. All right, now I am going to just get right to it. Let's talk about what's going on in this market and why. Why Caroline threw Sam under the bus. So, not sure if you've heard, but, you know, Sam Bankman-Fried's girlfriend and Alameda CEO, okay, recently did a massive plea deal. Okay. So she is going to throw Sam under the bus. Okay. And it appears the former Alameda exec will be spared of all major charges, which could have seen her sentence up to 110 years in prison. Okay. She won't be further prosecuted criminally if she cooperates. So this is not a surprise, right? Survival is now at the top of everybody's agenda. Okay. Caroline, Ellison both pleaded guilty. Okay. But Ellison and Gary Wang have rolled over on SBF. Why? Okay. Well, it was in their interest to do so, right? Their lawyers are like, the government wants XYZ. Now, why does the government want Sam so bad? Like, why not round up all of these people because they were all in on it? Okay. Because, well, obviously, Sam's become the poster boy. Okay. But there's another reason. There's another reason why they have got to get FTX. And here it is. Wow. FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried scheduled to appear in federal court as soon as Thursday. So, they've got everybody rolling over on him. He's been arrested. He's been arrested before he can testify in front of Congress. His friends have rolled over on him. They've been basically paid to by Uncle Sam. Why? Because if they don't silence SBF, the question no one is asking is, who is SBF going to roll over on? So Gary and Caroline roll over on SBF, and SBF rolls over on, how about Elizabeth Warren? How about Gary Gensler? Who in the U.S. government was Sam Bankman-Fried close to? How many Instagram shots are out there floating around of pictures of donations? Matter of fact, these might also be a lot of people who are kind of anti-crypto. So here's a crazy idea. When this is all said and done, not only are they going to get SBF, right? I mean, it's the biggest fraud in history. So the fact that they're going to get him and that there was huge debauchery involved seems obvious. I always like to talk about on the stream on what's not obvious. And what's not obvious, right? What's not obvious is that they've got to silence SBF and they got to get him put away as soon as possible. Because if they don't discredit SBF quickly, if they don't get him in jail quickly and build the case and the list of people turning on him immediately, his lawyers are going to start rolling over on government officials. In other words, these guys, like Sam, it's on YouTube. These guys, weren't opposed to using intimidation tactics to get their view across. Why? Because they had government backing. This is the part about this that no one gets. That not only was FTX the biggest fraud in financial history, in history of finance, but there was also some people in the government. They didn't know it was a fraud necessarily, but SBF wove a tangled web. And now all these anti-crypto people, right? All these anti-crypto people that are always all up in arms about crypto and all the bad things crypto did. Yeah, guess what? You have an Instagram photo and a donation check from Sam. And if everybody rolls over on Sam, Sam's going to roll over on everybody in the government. Now, in my phantasmagoric crypto imagination, this means that all public figures, right, who have been like anti-crypto are going to lose credibility. They may be done. They may have to resign because this SBF story is not going away. You just have to imagine what it looks like out a month from now, right? When SBF lawyers are trying to save him by threatening the government with exposing what they have to do. And they're probably just going to have to expose the government officials. So if the government wants to play hardball, SBF's lawyers, that's the only thing they got. I mean, he's unfortunately as guilty as sin, biggest fraud ever. Question is, what regulators, what politicians does he roll over on? And does that mean that into next year there can be a positive environment for crypto? That SBF, the oh my God trade, because remember the Binance oh my God trade, like every day there's a new oh my God trade. Like today is the oh my God, I guess it's the oh my God stock market Tesla trade, right? Poor Kramer called for a Santa rally. It went up one day and then crashed. Every day there's an oh my God. The next oh my God is that crypto regulators and the administration as it relates to crypto have been discredited and people like Crypto Mom have to come to the forefront. The quiet friends of crypto have had to be quiet. The people who hate crypto in the government were in bed with SBF. They're going to be discredited. And then we may have a shot at intelligent crypto regulation in the future. Because again, I don't know how Gensler and Elizabeth Warren are going to avoid the fact that they had a relationship with FTX in some way, or SBF or whatever. People who are speaking out against crypto were shaking hands with SBF. So when you see Caroline rolling over on Sam, the question is, who is Sam going to roll over on? With that, we can move to over 90% of FTX's Blockfolio acquisition was made using FTT tokens. So nothing like printing your own money to buy distressed assets. Gee, that sounds familiar. I wonder who they learned that from. Yeah, they learned it from the Fed. Okay, the Fed's backed by the Treasury, but FTX is not. Okay, and absolutely not funny, all right, that they tried to stretch it. But again, it was the biggest fraud in financial history. So why not try to use printed money to save your own ass? They get at least some points for creativity. The bottom line is whatever this guy did is going to be indefensible. It's going to be indefensible, right? They were doing fraudulent things, and then they did crazy things to cover up the fraudulent things. Okay. So again, Sam's going to be in court as soon as Thursday. Meanwhile, the media just can't get enough crypto FUD. Interestingly, British Columbia suspends new connections for Bitcoin miners. This goes back to an idea that, I thought it was over for Bitcoin miners last stream. Okay. That turned out not to be true because of what's going on with equities and with this news. Bringing me back to the idea that ETH and proof of stake aren't as bad as people think. Now, follow me on this. Bitcoin miners have problems with power and they have problems with climate change optics, rightly or wrongly. But definitely with this weather that's affecting the United States, and we're probably headed for the coldest winter ever, right? As in like the Thames River freezes type stuff, from what I understand. If you have the coldest winter ever, this puts pressure on Bitcoin and favors proof of stake. So even though ETH is deflationary, we also expect commodities, grains, gold, and ETH to perhaps travel as a pack on the way up. All right, let's go to the charts and let's check out what's going on here. Andre Britt says Doge to the moon. Ooh, okay. I was thinking Elon was going to have to turn to Doge, and I think he still is. Although Doge does probably not trade particularly well right now. Okay, so while we're on the subject of Elon, this is a daily chart of Tesla. And the DeMark 13 and 9 bottoming signals are not working. Sometimes when you have an extreme trend, that's how you know it's extreme, because the 13 and the 9 bottoms don't work. So Tesla has a major technical inflection point at $127. So if Tesla cannot get back above $127, then you are probably looking at a weekly move. And I promise I'm not going to forget about Doge, to the next DeMark support point, which is below 100, which is at 97. Can you imagine the hysteria of Tesla below 100? Okay, it happened to Cathie Wood, it happened to ARK, and now it's happening to Elon. A very humbling message, right? You believe in freedom, free speech, people can vote with their feet. Well, the people who liked censorship on Twitter were also owners of Tesla shares and Tesla cars. So you brought free speech back to Twitter. Thank you. But all of a sudden, those people who are upset about that started selling their Tesla shares and said, I'll never buy a Tesla again. And voting with your feet and free speech go both ways. Okay. The point that we're looking at in Tesla is $127. And frankly, I think it's a question of time, even though I'm sure it probably trades like total shit, along with everything else in the Elon universe this morning, is they have to turn to crypto, right? Actually, it doesn't trade that bad. Look. So let's look at the 4-hour chart. I mean, it lurched higher, okay, and now is coming back on a support point, 0.073 for Doge. So a decent looking bounce, obviously big resistance at 0.078. There is no way, that I wasn't planning on talking about this, but there's no way that Musk can save Tesla without embracing crypto. And Jack was into Bitcoin, so Elon has to go to Doge or Twitter coin. Right now, I think it's actually more likely, since he doesn't want to be the CEO, the case for Doge is actually stronger. So again, how does the news shape the way you look at 2023? Right? The news headline of the day is SBF. Okay, I'm cool with that. Now, when they roll over on the crypto-friendly, the crypto politicians who are unfriendly to the space, Elon has to embrace Doge, and people may realize that Ethereum could be better than Bitcoin during this literal seasonal winter. And of course, I've got my famous ETHE chart, which y'all are all sick of probably, but that's okay. Okay, this is we'll do this 4-hour. Okay, so each blue line is the change of seasons. Okay. Every time the seasons change, it reverses whatever it did last time. So down into summer, up, then back down again into fall, then up, then way down into winter. Okay, winter. Okay, anytime these guys want to stop unloading, interestingly, ETHE only down less than 1%. GBTC, as of this recording, is actually up. Let's just put that on the screen just to, right? As the equity market bathes in red, GBTC is trying to show a bid. It's not a very exciting technical picture, okay? But equities are crashing and GBTC is at least stable. Now, of course, Tesla's down 10%, okay? Hut mining is back down again, and retail in equities is probably panicking. Okay, Carlos says, which would you bet on in terms of confidence level for the next bull run? 2018 bill or 2022 bill? Okay. So I think when it comes to confidence, I like 2022 bill better, if that's what we're asking, right? So if I can third person for a moment, let's go back to the ETH chart while I do that. You know, in 2022, I got sell in May and go away, right? And that helped because that led to a debacle. And then I also paralleled that to what happened in 1929, which, you know, later, once the FTX debacle rolled around, that part of it actually turned out to be right. However, I wasn't quick enough on that FTX leg, right? So, you know, accurate at one point, slow on others, right? In terms of small cap investing, you know, I have a lot of really strong convictions, definitely putting my money and my career where my mouth is. So in 2022, I was actually a lot bolder than I was in 2018. I didn't know anything about the crypto space. And frankly, you know, I was kind of running scared from personal issues, divorce, and things like that. So I think my head is actually a lot clearer now, even though 2022 obviously had a rough and tumble ending for all of us, crypto, etc. I had a lot of etc. But I go with the guy you're looking at now over the guy in 2018. I think there's been a lot of improvement. Okay, S&G says, Merry Christmas. Thank you. I appreciate that. Long Shark is here. Welcome, right? Chatty Man is here. Happy Christmas from Manchester. My grandmother was from Manchester. Our friends in England are back. Lots of friends in Europe that used to watch on the other channel. We can't wait to see them over here. Can't wait to see them over here. So let's talk about Ethereum. Okay, let's give you something that might last, I don't know. So a couple smart guys I know had 1230 as level in ETH. These guys are just so smart. I'm going to like do more collabs with them. Okay. 1230 was an important level in ETH. I have the 62% retracement at 1180, and that may be your Christmas range. 1180 is the 62% retracement of the whole move up. So even though today's down move is terrible, is it really the end of the world? Not right now. It's not in ETH. Okay. Especially if you consider what's going on in Stonks with S&P down close to 3%. Let's just pull that chart up. Oh God. Right. So yeah, that doesn't look good. That looks like everybody is selling all at once. Let's actually go to DeMark in stocks, because I guess, like, you know, for people watching this later, they're probably going to want some assistance when, you know, like what is going on with stocks dominates the news. Okay. So this is the SPY daily chart. You know, almost no support on this until 357. That would probably be extremely ugly for crypto. Okay. The 4-hour chart doesn't have any real support on it for SPY. And even the 90-minute chart. Okay. The only good news is on the 90-minute chart, you may see a 13 bottom later at the end of today. So here's the bottom line on stocks. If stocks wind up down like 3 or 4%, there should be a bounce. If there isn't, then you know S&P is going to 3,500, right? Right now, minis are at 37.90, right? So either they're going to just puke it out today and there'll be one more final capitulation today, right? Which is interesting because, you know, this was where S&P was right around November 9th. So maybe they're going to, let me see if I can draw this. Okay. So the positive scenario, okay, is that the S&P pukes itself out to this 3750 level, because that's actually been a big inflection point, like multiple times, right? Like this goes all the way back to September, right? So they break down, they come back, they fail, it breaks down, right? They spent a whole bunch of time above it. Now they're retesting it again. So I guess if you use this 3750 level in S&P or 374 in SPY as like your pivot, right? So let me blow this up so you can maybe see the numbers better. Okay. Okay, probably not helping you see the numbers, but 3750 is a key level in S&P. Okay, SG1 is hoping I get lots of presents. Thank you. I'm glad I can give my daughter something this year. Seriously. Like it has not always been the case, right? This is the first holiday season where, you know, I'm going to be actually like with other people, which is also pretty cool. In other words, it's not a blue Christmas, even though crypto is a debacle. So I didn't plan on saying that. Let me go to silver and gold. Okay. So obviously, unfortunately, you know, you've got the situation where silver makes a new high and RSI does not follow. Whoops. Now, we've seen this before where silver makes a new high and then immediately pulls back. You know, the chart doesn't look so great, and we wonder, will silver hold support at 22.93? Because that used to be resistance. Okay. Notice in times of trial, when everyone's upset, what do? Well, they buy the dollar. So the dollar is up, and this is an 89-minute chart. So this will keep a lid on crypto for the moment. Thing I can't wait to see is, will this dollar rally get sold? Okay. In other words, right now, everyone's like, oh my God, the world's ending by the dollar, but the dollar index is still at 104. So is this the start of a reversal, or is this like this? Is it corrective and then leads to a bigger decline? So does the dollar go up to 105 and then smash down? Right. Right now, when you have a market like this, like if you just like, we can go back to like the Ethereum chart, but just if I look at this, I'm like, all right, well, this is not that bad. One thing you have to understand is like, hey, why are if stocks are down and crypto's down and gold is down, why is everything down all at once? Well, at hedge funds, right? Stocks, bonds, currencies, commodities, crypto, they're all like dogs in a kennel, all lined up next to each other. And what happens when one dog starts to bark? Well, the dog next to it picks up on it, and that dog starts to bark. And the next thing you know, you have 6 barking dogs. No pun intended, given who I work for. Okay. So if the stock dog barks, all the dogs bark. And in risk management, when there's a problem in stocks, risk management computers go, oh no, at a hedge fund, oh no, we're losing money in stocks. Sell bonds, sell commodities, sell crypto, sell everything. Right? Meanwhile, institutional, metrics are going, oh my God, get out, if they haven't already. So trend followers may be exiting and retail may be forced to capitulate. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I bet retailers have sold nothing. Retail has sold nothing. Okay, let's talk about the God candle in VIX. Definitely Richard Barry bringing this up. Smart. And the question you always have to ask yourself with VIX is, has fear gotten high enough for VIX to take out its top Bollinger Band? With VIX, ironically, it's just always, I wanted to make this more sophisticated, but it just isn't, right? It's just all about the Bollinger Bands and whether or not stocks are above it or below it. A VIX is above it or below it. So when VIX goes above the top Bollinger Band or closes through it, like here, okay, this is back in September. So when you have VIX closing, the closing of the day is above the top Bollinger Band, once VIX re-enters the Bollinger Band, frequently VIX collapses. Now, in this case, you actually had a very textbook setup of a burst through a Bollinger Band, a retest of it to the number. This is actually textbook, and that's why that VIX collapse was so unbelievable. And of course, over here, you've got the opposite. You never want to see stocks close, the VIX on the downside, close below their bottom Bollinger Band, like right here. Okay, that was November 23rd. That was Thanksgiving. And then, it came back down here and touched the bottom Bollinger Band again. So it's amazing. It's the exact same setup as the top. Okay. So you go through the Bollinger Band, then you touch it, then you go. You go through the Bollinger Band, then you touch it, then you go. All right. So what is a trend on the upside in VIX? Well, you'd have to take out 24.54. Right now, VIX is at 23.85. So the God candle in VIX is good if you're long VIX. If VIX takes out the top Bollinger Band on panic and then comes back down, that could be your sign to start looking into crypto. Like I'm actually personally getting a lot more active in this environment, right? Because I think that the people who are like, oh, gee, I need to sell Tesla now. Oh, gee, I need to, puke out whatever. Okay. They're late to the party. Like if everybody goes, oh my God, there's a problem at FTX, I'm giving up on crypto. No. This is the time when everyone else gives up on crypto and all you talk about at holiday dinner is all this sort of disaster porn news. No, this is the time when you're like, hey, maybe they're going to discredit the regulators. In research, you get paid for imagination. So if they do take out the top Bollinger Band in VIX, this is assuming, of course, it's not a gigantic stock market crash. If they take out the top Bollinger Band in VIX, it'll be interesting to see what happens when it comes back down. Like maybe Tesla has to go to 100. Like let's put the Bollinger Bands on Tesla. Wow. Okay. Tesla, it's not even applicable. Like it was in a range and now the Bollinger Bands are expanding in the direction of the trend. So Bollinger Bands not necessarily helpful in Tesla. Okay, I think the only thing that can help you in Tesla is DeMark. Right? So this is the daily chart of Tesla, and we were flagging 127.39 just to complete the discussion on VIX and Tesla. Let's just go to 90-minute Tesla to see what we have, if anything. Okay. So, the DeMark 9 and 13 signals are not working in Tesla. They haven't been. So I don't know if, say, tomorrow, whether or not, Tesla there might be a 9 and a 13 together. So if Tesla doesn't stop in 2 days, VIX will take out the top Bollinger Band. Will that be good for risk assets? No. But we don't want to wish ill on anybody, but this trajectory in Tesla has to bring in Doge. Has to. In other words, here's weekly Tesla. Okay, just for the hell of it, let's just pull up Doge. Okay, that was a scaling fail. Let's try it again. Okay, so Doge moons, Doge comes down. Tesla moons, Tesla comes down. How do we save Tesla? With Doge. With Doge. In other words, at the world, and Elon's going to figure this out. I'd be shocked if this even took 24 hours. They should let Tesla nuke, and then on Christmas morning, he's going to come out and say, Merry Crypto Christmas. I'm buying Doge, and you can pay for Teslas in Doge or whatever. In other words, I was wondering if it was going to be Twitter coin, and it's not. They don't have time for that. He's got to go to Doge. Let everybody get leaning to the left, all like, oh my God, Tesla's done. Let it go below 100, and then boom. And notice, let's look at a quote. I'm actually going to move it on the watch list right next to each other. Because again, in research, you get paid for imagination. Okay. I've now got Doge right underneath Tesla. Tesla down 9%, Doge up 1.5%. Okay. Holland is here. Welcome. Okay. Andre is asking, what is Saylor's game plan? Wow. I mean, let's go to MicroStrategy and talk about that. I think, actually, let's do MicroStrategy over here. I think Saylor's strategy is to pray that his stock doesn't go below 145. Okay. Because that was the crash low back in May. You'll know there's something wrong with Bitcoin if MicroStrategy cannot get back, falls below 145. Unfortunately, when you look at some of these stocks, like you look at the DeMark work, there's just nobody home. There's nobody home. And if you look at the D wave, actually, this is great. Let me do it this way. Sorry to be all over the place, but when you think about MicroStrategy, right? And you think about what can happen in equities, this wave structure on the daily just looks like the top was at 360. DeMark is going 1 with the bottom in September, 2 with the rally into October, 3 down into Thanksgiving, the 4-wave rally into mid-December, and there could be a final climax where it makes a new low below 152. So in other words, MicroStrategy is probably going to take out its Thanksgiving Day low to complete a DeMark 5-wave setup. So that's going to be scary and horrible. But, equities are scary and horrible. If VIX takes out 24, you're probably going to have a flash event day. or we were talking about on Debate Crypto about the idea of there being a flash event in crypto possibly over Christmas, right? There was this whole equities thing may get to crypto and there may be a flash event. Crypto loves this type of stuff. They love it. They love to do these flash crashes. So again, keeping it visually interesting, okay? So Jacob said they just announced SBF is out on $250 million in bail. Is there no limit to the drama on that? No, there isn't, right? I guess it's Christmas. So SBF can continue to walk around, although really interesting to see who posted $250 million in bail. That should be really interesting. Let's see. The story's out right now. Okay. I think it just popped up on the screen, right? FTX founder to be released on $250 million bail. Okay. So they're going to let this poor guy walk around. And I guess that's great for if you're a crypto influencer and you want to follow this guy around like some of these guys are doing. And I can't lie. I'm jealous and I'm addicted to the content. You know, I'm addicted to it. We all are. Okay. I was like, hey, can we move back to price? You know what? This story is going to be what moves price, just not in the way people think. Right. In other words, this is a dominant news story where people in crypto are just glued to it because it's like a soap opera. Meanwhile, I think the distraction is going to be away from the opportunities and the discrediting of regulators. The alternative, which I don't want to spend too much time on, is that it's over. But I don't think that's true because if it was, ETH would already be at 800. I think if there's anything that's going to go on, people may go and panic. And that panic is an opportunity for a rally into next year. Because, again, who's getting the views? The views are to talk about what's negative about crypto. Now, I agree, this story is getting irresistible. But is it price for next year? Is Sam Bankman-Fried giving you your 2023? Is he giving it to you quietly by distracting everybody from what's important in crypto? What's important in crypto is Satoshi. Everybody is thinking about SBF, and that's okay. Because again, SBF can never talk about who he knows in the government. Maybe that's why he's out on bail. Hey, maybe if we're nice to Sam, he won't rat us all out. And if they did get ratted out, what would happen to this idea of crypto regulation? Because everybody is saying, oh yeah, awful crypto regulation is coming. Okay, from who? From people who have selfies with SBF? No. So yeah, crypto laws are going to get passed. There was one in Brazil. They're trying to come down on Bitcoin miners. But I'm always trying to find a different angle. I guess maybe the real question I should have asked at the start, which is the question I'll leave you with, is there a crypto bullish outcome to SBF? Will crypto clean up its act? Maybe. Will regulators and government officials be revealed as two-faced and lose credibility to regulate the space? Hey, that almost rhymed. All right, friends, that's it for today. We have a new channel. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and please tell your friends we are here. As Richard said, we just hit 1K subscribers. 99K to go until we get the trophy. Okay, so for all those market update watchers that are out there, welcome. For all the market update watchers that are here, thank you. Thank you and happy holidays. We'll see you tomorrow.